Happy Monday, Antelope Valley. Hope everyone's well and that you had a pleasant weekend. I'm Mark Troth, broker and co-owner of Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Troth Realtors, right here in Lancaster, California, bringing you the November 10th, 2025 Antelope Valley real estate market update, where week in and week out we take a look and follow along with exactly what's going on in our local real estate market. Like to point out every week that I feel it's important that residents, property owners, potential buyers have a trusted local resource to follow along with to see what the trends are in our local market. Our statistics often get lumped in with Greater Los Angeles County, Southern California, and as many, many years of experience here in our local real estate market have shown that our Antelope Valley market is unique unto itself. Before we get into a recap of statistics as we start this week of November 10th, I'd also like to point out that our statistics are courtesy of the Greater Antelope Valley Association of Realtors MLS system. So where do we start November 10th? Active listings. We've got some good news in this week's numbers. So active listings up 1.5%, reversing a trend that we've seen. We're at 1,092, where last week we started the week at 1,076. So more inventory is obviously good for the market. Pending listings, we'll take that slight increase from 395 to 398 as we start this week. Less than a 1% increase, but once again, reversed about a 4 or 5 week trend of those pendings dropping from about 430, 435. So good to see increased buyer activity ever so slight, but we'll take it. So for the week just ended yesterday of November 3rd through the 9th, as I mentioned, new listings saw a little bit of a bump. Week over week, new listings at 83. That's up from 77 the week prior, which represents a 7.8% increase. Median list price, 440,000. So this number keeps on declining. Not necessarily meaning that prices are declining. We're just seeing less and less activity, let's say above 600,000 here in our local market. So that's bringing that median price range down. So down from 475 last week to 440, representing a 7.4% decrease. Here's the number that we're happy about. New properties into escrow, under contract, 58. That's up from 47 the week prior, representing a 23.4% increase. Median number of days on the market, those 58 properties represented, down 16 days to 40. Once again, a nice sign. Listings sold during the period of November 3rd through the 9th at 40. That's down 13%. So remember that essentially that represents properties that went under contract 30, 45 days ago. So that number is going to be a little bit down until we start catching up with some of this better activity that hopefully we're starting to see. Median sales price also down 5.4% to 472.5. And a new statistic we're going to start following along with. I had a couple folks ask if we could start charting and following absorption rate. So absorption rate is if you take the number of solds over the last 30 days, in this instance was 254, and divide that into the active listings, 1,092, it gives you the total number of months of inventory, or the number of months that it would take that if no new properties came on the market, how long would it take for those 1,092 properties to go under contract, which is 4.3 months. So here's what we look at is anything less than, let's say, 3 months is going to represent a strong seller's market. Between 3 to 6 months is going to represent a balanced market. But anything over 6 months, having an absorption rate where you have properties on the market that represent 6 months worth of inventory, going to definitely represent a buyer's market. So you can see that we're trending towards that balanced market. We're about halfway between that 3 month and 6 month. But like I said, had a couple request to go ahead and start following along with absorption rate. So we'll do that week in and week out. So with that, we'll go ahead and call it a wrap on this week's Antelope Valley Real Estate Market Update. However, if there's any other information, statistics, that you'd like, please do not hesitate to reach out to myself or any of our other trusted associates at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Troth Realtors, where we have proudly been serving the Antelope Valley real estate market since 1957. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great Veterans Day tomorrow. Let's salute and remember all those folks that are veterans here in our country and have served and often fought for our freedom. So, all right, everybody, see you next Monday. All righty, bye bye.